Hi guys, this is Chris from Blast Process bringing you a new video series. This is Kerbal Space Program. It's going to be a series of videos this rather than just a one-off. I'm going to be launching several missions. It's actually going to be one large mission, but it's going to be in several parts. I'm going to be colonizing Duna, which is the Mars analog of this game. You'll... Ooh, spelled that wrong. Oh, we can change flags now. This is all new. I've not played it since this last patch. Ooh, retro. Sticking with the Blast Process theme, retro gaming. Okay, now I've played this game quite a lot. This is the first time I've played using the latest patch though. I'll show you the planet, the target. Obviously, this is my planet, Kerbal. Ooh, this is all new. Ooh. Can turn. Ah, I like that. Okay, yeah. So obviously the moon, Minmus, 2 moons of Kerbal, and Duna is this one. This is the one that looks a little bit like Mars. It's got 1 moon rather than 2, which the real Mars would have. And red planet, it's got a very thin atmosphere, no oxygen. It's got snow on the ice on the poles, which is slightly not what Mars has, but still. So first stage of any mission is to launch a scout probe. Now the scout probe I'm going to launch is going to be in 2 pieces. It's going to have the actual probe, which is going to orbit the planet, and the lander, or possibly rover, I've not decided yet. They're going to all have scientific equipment and everything on them to measure the atmosphere, the pressure and what have you. Now this is probably going to take me a while to build, so I'll pause the recording and come back to this in a minute. Okay, so I'm done, and I've got it in 4 distinct parts. I've got the top piece, which is this. This is the satellite that's going to stay orbiting the planet. Then I have this. This is going to be the rover that's going to land. Plug that on there. And I got this. This is the stage that will actually get me to Duna from orbit of this planet. And then finally, I have this enormous thing. This is the launch stage. This is actually going to get me into orbit in the first place, or it should get me into orbit. Just lift it up off the ground a bit. So let us make sure it all works. Oh, we also need to make sure everything fires in the correct order. So that goes and that. Yep. Okay, we're done. Save that and launch. We are on the launch pad. Okay, so engage autopilot, throttle all the way up, and 3, 2, 1, blast off. Okay, I'm not going to need full power on my main engine, as the solid boosters are incredibly powerful at this point. Got a little bit of wobble, but it's not bad. Almost at booster separation. And away they go. Begin rolling. Taking control now from the autopilot. So yeah, it's about 25 degrees I think. Okay, looking good. So I'm mostly out of the atmosphere now. I just need to begin drifting now until I reach the tip of my orbit. Obviously, if I just left it, I would come all the way back and land over there. But I'm not going to. I'm going to use a little bit of fuel I've got left to turn my orbit into a circle. So luckily you can speed up time so I don't have to wait the full 10 minutes. And in fact, probably a good idea is to get these solar panels open so I don't run out of power, because with this being unmanned it means you need electricity to power everything. You don't have men on board to actually pull levers and press buttons. You need to be able to do it with electricity. As you can see, the orbit is circularizing and it's up. I'm not sure how much fuel I've got left. I'll just use all of it. Oh, and that was almost a perfect circle. Well, it is a perfect circle. It's almost a even circle. So, engines off. I'm now drifting with no fuel, but I can just jettison this and cut to this piece. Okay, I'll just kind of regain control before it goes spinning off. There we go. Now this engine is nowhere near as powerful, but it has got huge fuel efficiency, which is why I only need this tiny little fuel tank, and this should get me all the way out to Duna. But to get to Duna, it's going to need a little bit of calculation, because I think it's still quite far ahead in its orbit here, so I'm going to try and do this as fuel efficiently as possible. That means getting out of the planetary orbit first. Now I'm thinking it might be possible for me to use my own moon as a slingshot. Okay, just get everything lined up. You have to be pretty exact with your lining up at this point, because even a slight mistake here will cause huge, like that, if you look. We don't want it to be going down, we want to need it to be much more flat than that. Oh, I messed up there. Oh, I'll fix that. Just do this manually for now. As you can see, these engines do overheat, but space is so cold, it's not that big a deal. Leaving behind my debris. That'll stay floating there forever. Oh, here we go. Right, now. Just need to be careful here. Use as little fuel as possible. Just enough to catapult me out. So I need to keep going until it switches to the other side. There, perfect. This will actually bring me in quite low to the moon's surface. But luckily there is no atmosphere, so that's not a big deal. I'm going to auto-save it there. Quick save, I should say. As the last thing I need is for some horrible thing to go wrong. If I do get lots and lots of crashes, I may save them all up and create some horrible montage of me blowing up. Yeah, okay, so let's have a look at the moon close up. Here we go. As I said, I might come back here at another point. Curving areas in the distance. What a lovely image. Let us continue on. We are now travelling much faster than we just were a moment ago. We are still quite flat, which is what we need. So we are gone. Okay. We are now out of the planet system and into the solar system. And this is our target. Now it's so far in front, it's probably going to have to wait quite a while. It's probably very time inefficient this, but it's fuel efficient, which is the important thing. There we are. probably get that a little bit more efficient. Perfect. So that's going to take 74 days to arrive at that point. As I said, obviously I could have waited for the planets to be a bit aligned a little bit better, but you know, that's a very long time since they're out. So I'll come back once I'm ready to make this burn. And I'm back. I am on day 78 of the mission, and I am just approaching the point where I need to make my burn to arrive at Duna. It's going to be a 1 minute burn, and throttle up. Let's go. Quickly speed time along. And then once I've made this burn, I've got probably another 40 or 50 days to actually arrive, and then I'll have to make one more burn to actually place myself in orbit. Okay, let's have a look how close I was with that. Oh, that is pretty much perfect. So the idea is, obviously, look, this is the angle I needed to have been at rather than all the way back. So the idea now is, once this goes around the outside, it's going to give me a whole orbit then of Duna to prepare for the second mission. And the second mission is going to go almost one huge ship. I'm going to build a ship in orbit using docking and all sorts of stuff. So rather than having to launch lots and lots of smaller missions like this one, it'll just be one huge mission. It'll contain everything I need for at least the first, because then obviously I've got another several years of orbit before I can launch a second mission, or even return with the first one. I'll be launching, you know, men on the ground, probably rovers, manned rovers, I should point out, a base, living quarters, everything. And then whatever's left, whatever doesn't land, can stay in orbit and form a sort of mini space station. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to raise my orbit. Oh, I need the blue dot, there it is. Just watch all these lines. This will put me into a equatorial orbit rather than a polar orbit. It just makes things a bit easier to judge landing positions and the like. Yep, that'll do. I'll know better once I hit this encounter point. Everything will change. All these lines which are just getting in the way will all disappear and be consolidated into one much easier to understand line. I wonder if I can see Duna. Should be close. No, I don't see it yet. Oh, there it is. There he is in the distance. There's his moon. Speed time up. Oh. Okay. We are now in Duna approach. So. Probably got about a minute and a half worth of fuel left. So this first burn will that's 1 minute's worth of fuel, and that will put me into an orbit at least, and then from there I can sort myself out. So I've got 10 hours to wait before I reach this point. I've lost Duna. There he is. 54 minutes, so nearly at the point where I need to make the burn. Could make it a little bit better, I suppose. There we are. It's going to put me into 130 by 140 orbit, and that'll be good enough for the satellite. I've got a very little amount of fuel left, and whatever I've got left will be used to deorbit the rover. Now the rover does have parachutes, and Duna's thin atmosphere and the light, very, very light rover should land it just fine, but it'd be nice to slow myself down anyway. Ooh, should have done that a bit sooner. Now this is going to be incredibly close for fuel here. It's a 19-second burn. I'm not entirely sure I've got enough fuel left to make this burn. Perfect. Let's have a look. Close up of the planet. Ooh, we've got a choice now. Where are we going to land? I think this is much flatter, but it'd be nice to land somewhere interesting. Wonder if I can hit this crater. Which way am I orbiting? Going this way. So let's have a look what I'm approaching. Oh, this might be nice. Trying to land just on this edge here. So, back to the job at hand. Toggle the communication dish. And release the satellite. And there we are. Satellite has absolutely no engines. It can rotate and what have you, but it can't do anything. It is now sat here forever. And we'll switch back to this. This guy, on the other hand, has got a job to do. I am going to target this point here, this deep cliff canyon face almost. So we're going to add a maneuver. Now I'm not sure how much fuel I've got left. I suspect not a lot. Right. Okay, I need to just make sure the last thing I need is to hit my own satellite as I fly past. That's just fine. Off he goes. Goodbye, satellite. Okay, let's see. Obviously I'm not going to come down in this. Once I get a bit low, I'm going to hit the atmosphere. I'm going to slow down very rapidly. And then the parachutes are going to turn it into a much steeper curve. So I probably want to go a little bit further ahead. Here we go. I believe the atmosphere begins at 50 kilometers. Which I'm just... So that's where my target was. So I wonder if I can very quickly burn off some speed with what little fuel I've got left. And the fuel's gone. No, I'm going to completely overshoot. I could drive the way, I suppose. But anyway, let us release everything. At least we'll get to see this crash. Yeah, it's coming down much quicker than I am. Obviously, the way I've angled is causing a little bit more drag. Oh, speed is dropping, so... And there you go. Actually, I'm not going to land too far away. A couple of kilometres. It's flattish. It's going down. Oh, I wasn't too far away to see the explosion. There's the cliff I was going for. Come on, parachutes open. Yes! A perfect landing. It's going to take me a while to actually reach the ground now, just speed up time again. And we are coming down. There's the shadow. And we're down! A little bit of a bounce. Let's activate driving mode. Yeah! Come on, rover! Let's go over to the rock. Got all my little gadgets, I'll activate them soon. Oh, I appear to have used 2 of that one rather than fitting the thermometer. Oh no, it must be underneath. Oh okay, I made a mistake there when I was building that, never mind. Now the parachutes can be repacked, but you know, you need someone to actually go and do it, which is going to be a problem. But I'll never need them because this has already landed once. 3 meters per second, the heady high speed. Most people could probably run faster than that. Don't leave any trails, I'm sure they'll add that in another time, in another patch. Ooh. Not got any lights, I probably should have fitted lights. I don't know how long night lasts on Duna. Hopefully it won't be too long. No monsters come out at night. We are in the big rock. It's actually pretty huge, this rock as well, because this isn't this is quite a large rover. It doesn't look big, but it really is. Park in the shade, and you can see my power going down almost straight away as I'm no longer in the sun. So that's probably not a good idea to park too close to the rock. And this will do. Brake on. And there we go. Let's go see how my satellite is doing. Still got throttle on. So, that's part 1 of the Duna base build. I'll be building it over several parts. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. Depends on how complicated I build it, I suppose. Thank you for watching. Likes and subscribes are very much appreciated. And goodbye. Until next time.